USF students tackle the problem of sex trafficking, new helmets may reduce football injuries, and students and personnel are getting in shape for the summer.
All this and more coming up next on College Week.
From the McDonald Center on the campus of the University of Sioux Falls, this is College Week with Dylan Dwyer, Miranda Kane, and Sports with Thomas Marshall.
Good morning, I'm Miranda Kane.
And I'm Dylan Dwyer. Dakota Case is feeling ill today. We have a lot of great items on the show coming up today, but first we're going to start off with some hard-hitting news.
The Junior League of Sioux Falls and Lori Renzick spent time with students this past Saturday, educating them on sex trafficking. They presented the trailer for Chosen and discussed how one can get trapped in the business and how to avoid it. James Brodus has more on the story.
This past Saturday in Java City, USF's own Lori Renzick teamed up with Junior League of Sioux Falls to help raise awareness on the issue of sex trafficking. Renzick holds the subject close to her heart and finds herself disgusted with what happens here in our own state.
Well, my goal for the event today was to bring different organizations that deal with sex trafficking together because about 2 months ago when I first got the idea to plan this, I was talking to a lady and she was telling me about all the different organizations in Sioux Falls that deal with sex trafficking. And I just thought, well, wouldn't it be awesome if we all just kind of came together and dealt with it together and like worked as a body instead of separate organizations? So that's kind of what my goal was, and we have a couple of different organizations here today, which is really exciting, and I'm really excited for how we can all work together and collaborate together, and I'm hoping it's something we can continue to do in the future.
That's on Backpage.com or Craigslist.com.
Alongside Renzick were Katie Mert and Jennifer Robertson, both members of the Junior League of Sioux Falls, and they shared with College Week how they are raising awareness not only through the school but the entire state.
The Junior League of Sioux Falls is bringing awareness to the community of Sioux Falls as well as across the state through 2 task forces. We have the Human Trafficking Education Task Force and the Human Trafficking Law Enforcement Task Force. What we're doing currently right now is we are speaking to different organizations or businesses such as schools, more talking to the faculty, doing like an in-service. We're talking to college students, church organizations, different businesses, any businesses that want to have some more training for their employees. So we're going around the community and sharing with them what we have learned. We're telling them what is it? Do we have it here in Sioux Falls? Do we have it here in the state of South Dakota? What are we currently doing as a league? What are we doing as a community and state that is bringing awareness and ending this disturbing form of modern slavery?
Sex trafficking is serious and you can help stop it. For College Week, I'm James Brodus.
Though the sport of football is a tough and injury-filled game, the University of Sioux Falls football team is taking steps to limit the physical impact of hits. The Cougars have started to incorporate the use of Guardian caps in practice. In addition to padding on the inside, Guardian caps also have padding on the outside. Though it doesn't completely eliminate concussions, Guardian caps claim that these unique helmets have been proven to reduce hit impact by 33%. USF's head football coach, Jed Stugart, is currently only using them in specific practice situations. USF is one of a few schools that is testing them out, including South Carolina and Clemson.
Summer is just around the corner, and USF is offering a total body fitness program to help students and personnel shape up for nicer weather.
The University of Sioux Falls is offering free total body exercise sessions this spring. Athletic graduate assistant strength coach Jake Steffen is leading students and faculty in this 5-week program.
Casey Miley, the Dean of Students, kind of approached me about doing something like this for the students. I thought it was kind of an awesome idea. I thought it was something that, in terms of the fitness and the wellness and lifestyle, different things that we can do for the students, was an awesome idea. I kind of came with the idea of just doing something simple like this 2 nights a week, some different intervals and station work, and great attendance so far, so that's good.
Senior Alexa Reed explains why she's decided to participate.
Well, one, because I'm retired USF volleyball, so I need to stay in shape. And 2, because I'm going to California in 7 weeks, and I'm going to be in the games.
With summer just around the corner, these free sessions are hard to pass up.
There are 10 total sessions counting tonight, so it's Monday and Thursday nights at 5:30 for 5 weeks up until I think just about the end of the semester. So people can come whenever it's convenient for them. If they come on a Monday and they can't make it on Thursday, that's fine. I don't take attendance and punish people if they come, so that's fine if they can only make a few of them.
For College Week, I'm Julia Iverson.
Here's Tanner Wangsness with this week's pop quiz question.
Good luck.
Hi, I'm Tanner Wangsness with this week's pop quiz question. This week's question is, a USF tradition, madrigal dinners began in what year? A, 1964, B, 1978, C, 1989, or D, 1993? Check back for the answer.
Sometimes the world moves faster than you do. It can move so fast that you just can't keep up. That's why you need to be able to trust people. You need to trust someone who can slow things down for you. I'm Jaden Miller, USF College Week anchor, and you can count on me to keep you up to speed.
Ooh, the madrigal dinners. Didn't we just celebrate 50 years with those?
I think so, but I'm not exactly great with years or history, so I can't be sure.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Oh, hi, welcome back. This week's question, a USF tradition, madrigal dinners began in what year? A, 1964, B, 1978, C, 1989, or D, 1993? Well, if you guessed A, 1964, you're spot on. Dr. and Mrs. Ruben Jeske served as Lord and Lady for the very first madrigal dinners, and it has been a staple at USF for almost 50 years. Bet you didn't know that.
Well, I know one thing's for sure. I have a terrible singing voice, but I've heard you sing, and it's not so bad. Are you in choir?
That's funny. That's really funny. I mean, in the 6th grade, I was in choir for 2 weeks, maybe. So I don't think I qualify for USF standards.
Well, our own Simon Floss is in choir, and he has a little pack to show us.
When you think of spring, you think of relaxed, breezy days where there's little to care about. For the University of Sioux Falls Chorale program, however, springtime marks a busy time. Spring tours. We caught up with Director of Choral Activities, Dr. David DeHoo-Cleaver, as well as members of the various choirs at USF, as they tell us what they're expecting from the tour.
Well, we're excited this year to once again be doing a local choir tour over a weekend. Every other year we do a weekend tour that usually is on the same year as an international trip. The opposite years we do a spring break tour. And so for this weekend tour, we will be performing in Sioux City and Sioux Falls, basically. The spring tour will include the concert chorale along with the singing camerata, chamber singers, and even the university singers who haven't performed since January, but during interim they toured about 24 high schools, singing for over 1,000 high school students that are all currently involved in the arts, and we encourage them, the university singers, tell them a little bit about how to continue that after high school, and particularly how it works at USF.
Alex Qualm, a sophomore at USF and a member of the Camerata, Chorale, and University Singers groups, tells us what his favorite thing is about going on tour with the USF choirs.
Thing would be just being able to hang out with like a lot of your friends on these really cool trips, and so I know for the California tour I got to hang out with Nate Schlatter a whole bunch, and so that was really fun. And then University Singers get to hang out with Joey and Dan McBride, so it was really sweet. Yeah.
Victoria Dwyer, also a sophomore at USF and a member of Camerata and Chorale groups, reiterated Qualm's words.
My favorite thing is probably spending more time as a group and getting to get to know each other better and just building relationships with each other.
DeHoo Cleaver, Qualm, and Dwyer also tell us of future projects that the choirs will be involved in.
A service project at St. Francis here in town, and that is a beautiful opportunity to connect with people that have some challenging circumstances, whether they are fresh out of prison or just suffering from homelessness.
I'm going to Italy and get to tour in Italy, so that'll be sweet.
Half the choir, I think, is going to Italy, and they will be doing mostly the same selections of music and performing in different cathedrals and churches and different venues around Italy, just any of the cities that they're going to.
For USF College Week, I'm Simon Floss.
It wasn't uncommon for residents of Sioux Falls to see parts of major lanes of traffic closed earlier this week. The city closed parts of Kiwanis, Western, and Minnesota Avenues for roadwork and sewer line cleaning. All projects were temporary closures and were scheduled to have the lanes open for traffic by the weekend.
USF MBA student Zach Fick is starting a website designed to help college students find work. Fick knows that many students want to work but do not have the time to commit to a part-time job. His website, Help You, connects students to alumni and community members that need small jobs done. In 5 years, Fick wants Help You to be available to every college in the NCAA Division I, II, and III, as well as NAIA schools. Fick thinks that this can be a resource to create relationships between students, schools, alumni, and communities.
Cisa Cooper has been commissioned to paint for Raven Industries. Christine Renner has more on the story.
USF's very own Cisa Cooper has been commissioned by Raven Industries to create 3 landscape panels to be displayed in their finished building.
There are several artists involved in the project in different areas of the building, and the artists have requested that there be some sort of public opening. Raven is, they're considering that, but because so much of what they do in that building is top secret, a lot of government stuff, they're sort of hesitant to open it up to a huge public thing, but they're considering it, is all I know.
Cooper has announced that she is very excited in completing these pieces for the industry.
I got really excited when I got the invitation to submit. So I spent probably 4 or 5 weeks putting together a proposal of several different paintings for different sites in the building. We were given a tour of the building, all of the artists who were applying. One of the areas that I chose, which was my top priority area, was the executive conference room on the 4th floor, which overlooks the river and overlooks a garden area. It's a beautiful space. So I submitted my proposal of 4 paintings, each representing a season, 9 foot tall by 3 feet wide panels, to go in that room. And I found out just before Christmas that my proposal had been accepted. So I'm in the process of finishing up those panels right now. I'm hoping to have them done by Easter weekend. With the seasons, they are native trees and native birds in the trees with some text behind the panels, much like the ones that are in our student union that I did for the university with the Keats poem. The poetry comes from a local poet who is basically speaking of the prairie, just as I'm painting about the prairie. Working on them since January. I had interim off, thank goodness. So I started on them right after Christmas, and I'm still working. I'm about to finish the 3rd one. Should be finished in the next 2 weeks. So it's taken me January through April. Pretty steadily working.
For USF College Week, I'm Christine Reiner.
Coming up next is Java Talk with Seth Cordy.
Don't go away.
Academic excellence, inspired talent, Christian values, athletic champions. This is the University of Sioux Falls, proud to be with you the whole way.
Good morning and welcome to Java Talk. I'm Seth Cordy, and joining me this morning is the Assistant Director of Residence Life, Ashley Maturin. Ashley, thanks for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.
So I've been seeing some red bandanas around campus. What's going on there?
Yes, so we are currently in the midst of our Humans vs. Zombies game. This is an annual event that we host on campus. If you see a person with a red bandana around their arm, that signifies that they are human. If that student is wearing a red bandana around their head, that means they have been turned into a zombie. Which is unfortunate. And so the way that the game works, we all start out as humans. If you sign up for the game, there are 3 original zombies. Those students stay secret for an entire day, so no one knows who they are. They look like human players, but if you get tagged by one of those individuals outside of a building, of course, you are turned into a zombie, and thus the infection spreads.
How does one get turned into a zombie? What are the means of tagging? I've been seeing some students walking around with Nerf guns and wads of socks.
Yes, so a zombie, all they have to do to turn a human is to tag them on the arm or back or anywhere, and humans can defend themselves with those Nerf guns or balled up socks. If they hit a zombie, that zombie is stunned for 15 minutes and it gives the human time to escape. And the only safe zones are inside buildings.
Okay, awesome. Well, are there any training sessions that go into this game?
Yes, so we had a training session the night before it started. It was great. We did it in the Stewart Center. We had an agility course, target practice, limbering up with yoga, and then a rules session, because there are a lot of rules to the game, so we want to make sure that everybody understands and makes it a fair game.
That's awesome. Well, is there anything that's different this year than in previous years?
Yes, so we had some students yesterday bring a great idea to us. So this year we're doing what's called the Purge. It is a 10-minute mission where it's everywhere is free game except for academic buildings. So that means a human can be tagged inside their dorm room, inside the McDonald's Center here in Java City. So it's only 10 minutes long because we do feel like it's going to get a little crazy, but it should be pretty fun.
That's awesome. So when does the game wrap up?
Yes, the game wraps up at 11 p.m. on Saturday, so there will be one final mission. It's an epic battle for the win. Hopefully the last 3 years humans have come out on top, so we'll see if the zombies can defeat them this year.
Is that how you determine the winner, by what side has the most people on it?
Yes, so if there are any humans remaining at the end, that actually means that the humans have won. So even if it's one man standing, the humans still win.
Awesome. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about what else is going on with Residence Life?
Sure. So this coming Sunday, we have what's called Room Draw. This is an annual event where students come and select their room for next year, next fall and spring. So they'll come to this event. It's mandatory for all first-year students to attend. This year, however, it is going to be pretty fun. It's going to be in the Stewart Center. We have free pizza and pop and inflatables. We have a 2-man bungee run, sumo suits, and a 60-foot inflatable obstacle course.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of fun. So how does a student apply to live in the dorm that they would like to live in?
Yep, so we actually classify them by how many credits they have, and then we'll draw names out of a hat. And once your name is called, you come up with your roommate and sign up for your room.
Okay. And is there anything else going on with Residence Life coming up here?
So I'm sure everybody knows the Easter break is coming up, probably much anticipated, a nice little rest. But the day before Easter break, we are actually doing a campus-wide Easter egg hunt. So it'll be all day on Wednesday, and myself and the other members of Residence Life will be hiding Easter eggs early in the morning, and so you can look for those. Most of them will be filled with candy, but there are some special prizes as well, so you'll want to kind of keep your eyes peeled for those.
Awesome. So back to Humans vs. Zombies, who do you think has the best shot at winning it this year from what you've seen?
You know, the zombies have really stepped up their game. I was a little worried yesterday morning. It was kind of slow going. There were only about 3, but currently we have 99 players total. And we have 24 zombies right now, so they are quickly taking over. And so students just have to keep checking their email for those specific missions that offer immunity and serums and things like that.
Yeah, talk a little bit about the missions, like what those kind of look like for the humans at least.
Yeah, so for the humans, throughout the day they will get emails with specific kind of directions on where to go and what the prize is for them going. Yesterday's mission was to obtain 3 colored slips of paper after following some clues, and if they completed that and brought all 3 colored slips of paper back to me, they would receive a pass for the Purge today that would offer them partial immunity.
Okay.
So
awesome.
It actually offers them immunity inside the buildings, so they could still get tagged outside, so it's kind of a partial immunity thing that allows them to continue to play the game as normal during the Purge.
Okay.
not many humans successfully completed that because the zombies sabotaged, but it went well.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. Well, I really appreciate you joining us today, Ashley.
Absolutely.
Take care and stay tuned, because up next is Sports with Thomas Marshall.
USF, Cougar crazies. I got something for y'all to check out. Yep, Cougar. Y'all need to check it out. Cougar. I said y'all should check it out. Cougar. Check it out. Son. Yeah. Need to check it out. If the USF Cougars is something you need a rep, well then Cool Gear Locker is something you need to check. You're in need of apparel, you gotta be looking right. Go to cool-gearlocker.com website. When I spit it, y'all should listen. Try to determine how I rip it. USF is what we reppin'. USF is never slipping. Cougar fans are looking great. You know that we dominate. Need some gear and gotta wait with Cool Gear Locker. Raise the stakes. Cool Gear. Y'all need to check it out. Cool Gear. I said y'all should check it out. Cool Gear. Check it out. Cool Gear. You need to check it out.
And now it's time for my personal favorite part of our show, sports.
Thomas, it sounds like we've got a lot of stuff going on this spring.
Yes, we do. We have a lot of things going on this spring. Just completed with indoor track, baseball, softball, golf.
Speaking of golf, Thomas, I hear you can swing a pretty mean golf club, huh?
Man, I could probably swing it, but I don't know who told you that story. I don't know about that one.
Well, it looks like we're looking good in perp, so why don't you tell us about it?
No problem. Can you feel it? Can you hear it? Can you even taste it? That's right, my fellow Cougars, it's springtime. And do you know what that means? That's right, you got it again. USF women's softball is underway. As winter sports come to a close, as well as the snow, we couldn't help but notice that the Lady Cougars softball team is scorching the diamond. Coming off of a hot start in sunny Florida a couple weeks ago, the softball team are picking up where they left off against NSIC foe, University of Minnesota Duluth, this past Sunday at Sherman Park. USF came prepared as they sweep the Bulldogs in both doubleheader games with the scores of 7-3 and 3-2. The Cougars got sold out innings in the mounds of the seniors Amanda Walters and Bailey Bowman, who gave up a combined score of 2 runs in the 2-bill match. The pressure was on Bailey Bowman in the top of the 7th with runners on 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs, but the senior pitcher handled the situation with ease as she struck out Bulldogs Maria Schultz to seal the victory for the Cougars. Bowman picked up her 5th win of the season on the mound for the Cougars while striking out 5 Bulldog batters and giving up no earned runs in the 7th innings pitched. The win was also created by Amanda Walters, 13-3, as she struck out 13 Bulldog batters, only allowing 2 earned runs in her 7 innings pitched. We have more with senior Sioux Falls native College Week's own Dakota Case.
After a long, cold South Dakota winter, USF students are excited for spring sports. However, it hasn't all been sunshine and daisies. This field over here, 3 days ago, it was covered in snow and ice. Today, it's 60 degrees.
For senior softball pitcher Amanda Walters, it's just another day in the life of a spring sports athlete.
It gets a little hard coming off of winter seasons. We did go to Florida though for a week, so that kind of helps us get with the weather a little bit, but it's always hard to get used to the weather here.
When bad weather strikes at practice time, USF's Lady Cougars simply make the switch to Plan B.
We're in the gym, we hit off the tee a lot, we do a lot of hitting. We try to get our infielders pat flies or throws to bases as much as we can in the gym. We do as much as we can in the gym when we can't get outside.
However, not only has the weather affected team practice, it's also made for some interesting game days.
Couple of games, I guess, where we've had miracles done to the fields. Like an hour before the game, they're still getting done and getting prepped and stuff. And we just go with the flow. We just let the coaches focus on getting the field ready for us, and we just focus on playing and going and get the W.
As long as conditions are manageable, nothing will stop these athletes from competing.
Be prepared for everything. Bring your layers. Be prepared for everything. You never know what you're gonna get.
Like a box of chocolates, you never know what a new Spring South Dakota day will bring.
All right, come on, USF. With temperatures in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, looks like things are smooth sailing from here. Let's play some ball.
USF sophomore Scott Greenman has been named Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference Men's Field Athlete of the Week. Greenman came in second overall at the UNK Loper Invitational with the NCAA provisional qualifying leap of 15 feet and 11.25 inches. He currently has the top mark in the pole vault in the NSIC and 15th best mark in Division II. The USF tennis team swept away the Southwest Minnesota State Mustangs 9-0 at Cougars Plus in Fargo, North Dakota, bouncing back from a disappointing loss to Minnesota State Moorhead. USF is now 6-9, 3-6 in the NSIC, while the Mustangs are 3-13 and 1-7 in the NSIC. The Cougars are in 8th place in overall NSIC standings with this weekend split versus MSU Moorhead and SMSU. The top 8 teams will qualify for the NSIC tournament. The NSIC regular season will wrap up for the Cougars next weekend in Grand Forks, North Dakota, where the Cougars will face Minnesota Crookston on Friday and Bemidji State on Saturday. The men's, women, and golf teams competed in First Federal Bank Invitational Mount Home in Arkansas on Tuesday. The Cougar women finished 6th place, while the men finished in the 10th. Tavia Rutherford finished in 13th place and was the top female finisher for USF. John Vent Hull was the top male finisher for the Cougars when he tied for 34th place. The Cougar women will compete in Augustana Invitational on Saturday, while the men compete in the NSIC Spring Conference Tournament on Friday.
And that wraps up another edition of USF College Week. I'm Dylan Dwyer.
And I'm Miranda Kane.
And I'm Thomas Marshall.
Have a great day.
Continue to be effective and put up results at a pace